Hey guys, how are you all doing? So, it's game on, game time. And what we're doing here today is a defection. Now this is a Sortie 3 defection. Was on a little while ago, and the condition is sniper only, which is the reason why I'm running around with a Rubico only and nothing else equipped. And thought would just post this video because I see people who really hate doing defection when you've got a full squad of people who don't know what they're doing, especially when it's high level. I've come across some squads that really struggled, and a lot of people just don't like to do defection. It's one of those missions that everyone loves to hate. Is a little tedious, it's sort of a little boring, and it's not a lot of fun at the best of times. Now, I joined this Sortie 3. I was the host. I had one guy join and then he decided to leave, and I thought, well, you know what, I've got Nezha, I don't need anyone else with me, so thought I'd make a video for you guys and just show you how easy it really is with Nezha. So these enemies, you're looking, you know, at basically endgame levels, level 80 to level 100 enemies in this. And the reason why Nezha is so good at doing defection, and you really don't need any other warframe, is because of the mod Safeguard. Now you can see Nezha has got his warding halo, which protects him. When you have the Safeguard mod, you can put a warding halo on your allies, sentinels, and also your allies' pets. And the good thing about warding halo is that it has a stagger ability when enemies get close, and this is perfect for these defectors because they tend to get blocked by the hordes of infested that run at them. And when you put your halo on these guys, it prevents them a lot of the times from getting stuck, and obviously it also prevents them from taking damage. And that's the whole thing of defection, is basically getting the guys to the exit without taking damage. So, and if you have a look at this guy here, he's just gone retarded and he thought he'd go in stealth mode with his halo on and he's going to crawl to the exit. So I don't know why this dude did that, but for some reason he's just bugged out and he thinks he's a sneaky Loki or something. No one can see him. I've never seen this before. But yeah, he's doing his thing and he's slowing the entire group down, which I hate you, little defector. You're just making defection even worse. But yeah, it's simple stuff with Nezha. Now the only thing you have to take into account is that it does cost a bit of energy. It's not cheap to cast Warding Halo, and especially when you got to cast it 3 times quite regularly. Now, finally, okay, that guy got off his shins and he started to run now, which is great. Thank you very much. Now, I've got all the builds and the mods at the end of the video, so if you wanted to skip straight to the end, you can go ahead and do that. And there's certainly no need to stick around and watch 10 minutes, 12 minutes of defectors running aimlessly to the exit. But just thought I'd post this and show you guys how simple it really is with the Nezha. The only thing you have to do is put the halo on the defectors and send them on from the checkpoints. Now, because I'm doing this solo, it only tends to be one lot of defectors at a time. When you're in a squad, you can get 2 lots of defectors running from C and from B, but each time I've done it solo, and I don't know if this is a new thing from an update, they only will let you have one group of defectors running at a time. As you can see, B and C has appeared, but I won't actually get 2 lots of defectors coming out. In a squad you do, so things are really quick in a squad like that. But what I tend to see is people running with trinities in defections, and with a trinity people will run alongside the defectors basically the entire trip and keep them healed, which is great and it works, and there's no problem with doing that. But what that does do is it ties up one warframe or one of your squad mates having to follow these guys all the time. But with the Warding Halo Safeguard mod, you can basically just set and forget. All you've got to do is put the halo on these guys and move them on from the next checkpoint. You don't need to follow them. You don't even need to worry about them. Now the only problem with this is that it is costly with the energy. I don't have Arcane Energize, so you kind of burn through a few energy pads. But if you had Arcane Energize, or even if you killed more enemies to get some more energy drops, then you wouldn't need as much. Now, as I said, this is a Sortie 3 and the condition was sniper only, and because it's single-shotting enemies, I just couldn't be bothered running around killing enemies. I'm really only killing enemies if I kind of have to, and I don't even really have to. It's just a matter of popping ones off that might be in the way in the vicinity as to where I am, but that's about it. So if you notice that I haven't done anything with these guys, I'm not following them, I'm even worrying about them, and these, as I said, are level 80 to level 100 enemies, so they are taking some hits, but because of the Warding Halo, it's just mitigating all of that damage. Now, this is also, I've got to stress, the pre-Nezha Buff, nerf, quality of life changes that have recently happened on PC. So we're on console, I'm playing on PS4, so we don't have that change yet. Now the only difference that is upcoming to Nezha in terms of his Warding Halo is that at the moment when you have your Halo, it will absorb 100% of damage. So, and you'll see the armor value of your Warding Halo slowly going down as it takes damage. With the new changes that have been made, instead of 100% damage reduction, it is now only 90% damage reduction. So whoever's got a Halo on them, whether it's Nezha himself or your allies or pets or sentinels, they're going to take 10% of the damage that's coming through to them. So it's going to be interesting to see how well you can solo this with Nezha once these changes are made. I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference, simply because the defectors at the moment, even without the Halo, they can take a few hits before they go down. They're not exactly squishy, but they certainly aren't tanky. So with 90% damage reduction, you may just need to keep a bit of an eye on them a bit more. But if you wanted to follow these guys all the way to the exit, it's going to be completely fine, and it's going to be super easy as well. But my whole jam is that I want to do things quick and easy with minimal effort, which is really what you need to do in a grindy game like Warframe, is get the results with minimal effort and minimal time spent. So basically that's the reason I'm posting this video for you guys to check it out. It's super simple. Now all you've got to make sure you do is just send them on from A, get them to the exit. You really don't need to worry too much about them, because again you've got that stagger from the Warding Halo on the enemies, which I've seen quite a few missions that they'll get stuck by a horde of enemies cornering them near a doorway or around a corner, and that causes some dramas. So once you got the Warding Halo and it gives them the slight stagger, it's really handy. Now depending on the range you have on your Nezha build will also determine the range at which it will stagger the enemies. So keep that in mind as well. As I said, all the my builds are at the end of this video, so you can go and check that out if you'd like to now. But basically we're just waiting for those guys to get to the exit and waiting for the next guys to come out. It's really easy. I mean, if you had even 2 players, you could get this done so much quicker. Just keep one person at A to send them on the way to the exit. The person playing Nezha can basically halo the survivors and then just send them on from the first checkpoint. Now as you can see, as I said before, is that they only will send out one group of survivors at a time when you're playing solo. I kind of wish it wasn't the case because it's really easy with Nezha, but I guess that's what it's a good idea from DE to do that, because of people who want to play solo. I guess it does make it a little easier to manage, and probably save me a heap of energy as well. But if there were 2 lots of survivors running out at a time, this would be done obviously twice as quick. So really easy to do Defection. Don't get stressed about doing them, especially if you see them on a sortie. If you have a basic Nezha build, it's going to work for you. All you need is that safeguard mod so that you can cast your warding halo on these guys. The only running around I'm doing is just to send them from checkpoint to checkpoint, not worrying about their health at all. Really easy. Now, there's nothing else that I really need to tell you guys about this. Basically, it's everything's said, everything's easy. If you had, like, you could have a Trinity running this as well as a Nezha, but you're kind of defeating the purpose because they're not taking any damage. Like, you can see these guys have virtually got full health. Over time they do lose their kind of health or their oxygen supply, whatever it is that sort of drains their health bar. So that's about the only damage that they're actually taking. I was actually surprised on how easy it was on enemy levels this high, because there's certainly nothing special about the build that I've got. So we'll go and have a quick look now at the build. I got an awesome Exilus adapter. I think that makes about 13 that I've got unused, and I have one on every single frame, so I kind of don't like Exilus adapters being a reward item in the sorties, but we can't have everything, can we? But yeah guys, so that's kind of pretty much it. We'll go through and have a quick look at the build once we return. Again, there's nothing special about my build whatsoever. It's just a matter of having some decent efficiency, because you're going to be casting it a lot, and having also a little bit of range and the power strength. I mean, you can really alter your mods in a lot of ways, but my suggestion is to basically have good efficiency, because you're going to be casting it a lot. You don't even need over 100% efficiency. You're just going to need a lot of energy pads. No duration required at all, because we're not doing any powers that require duration. So you can see I've got decent range there and kind of decent strength as well. It's a very balanced build. Now, because they are infested, I'm running an arcane resistance, which gives me the 80% toxin resistance. Didn't even really see too many of those Mutalists jizzing their toxic spunter at me. So, but again, the warding halo protects your defectors against those as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So hopefully this will be helpful for you. Here's my sniper build. Pretty standard. It's not even really that good of a Riven. I mean, it's certainly not a bad Riven, but I just haven't really tried to roll it for anything better, and it's pretty decent. So alright guys, if you come up to a Defection, try the Nezha build and see how you go, and let me know how you went. Alright guys, take care. Enjoy.